Fire curtains were developed to allow architects to design open-plan spaces within buildings whilst creating compartmentation in a fire situation. Fire curtains are active fire barriers, usually housed in the high ceiling void, which deploy upon a fire alarm and protect parts of the building from a fire. When fire curtains first entered the market, they were tested to the same fire standards as the products they were replacing, such as a fire door. Over time, concern grew amongst UK industry professionals that these fire curtains needed to be tested in a different way. 3 of the critical areas of concern were: what happens if someone falls into a curtain escaping a fire? What happens if there's a fire in the ceiling void, but someone still needs to go through the curtain? Will it still lift? And most importantly of all, if the curtains are tested once a week as part of the standard fire alarm test, what happens to the fabric? After 10 years, this could add up to more than 500 cycles. So will the fabric still hold its integrity in the event of a fire? With these questions in mind, trade associations, manufacturers-approved bodies, the fire service and others got together to develop a standard unique to fire curtains. That standard is BS 8524. Introduced in 2013, BS 8524 allowed manufacturers to demonstrate that their fire curtain products were able to meet this higher bar set by the UK construction market through stringent testing. However, in 2022, Kiwa gave notice that their BS 8524 scheme would close in 2023 for commercial reasons, although they would continue to support the installer scheme. As a result of this, approved bodies supported by the Association for Specialist Fire Protection, the industry's trade association, have prepared their own schemes for BS 8524. But ASFP still recommends certification to BS 8524 for all fire curtains as referenced in the BS 9999 and BS 9991 documents. European committees decided not to adopt a British standard that had a more robust testing regime, but instead looked to use CE marking as a way of certification for fire curtains. In the absence of a standard for fire curtains, Europe instead adopted a standard for doors, shutters and openable windows, EN 16034, due to the reference within the standard to operable fabric curtains. To be able to CE mark a door, there needs to be 2 standards in place. One for the fire characteristics and one for the non-fire characteristics. The non-fire characteristics standards is EN 13241, which makes no mention of fire curtains and is not relevant to fire curtain characteristics. On nearly all occasions, a fire curtain is not used as a door. The point of a fire curtain is to be hidden. On this basis, the UK rejected EN 16034 as a standard for fire curtains, except on 2 distinct applications. When a fire curtain is used in retail premises for pedestrian access, or when it is used as a door to replace a pedestrian door set. Even on these rare occasions, the UK forward for EN 16034 states that this standard doesn't cover their operation deployment speeds, initiation devices, or warning devices, etc., and as such should comply with BS 8524 Part 1 and BS 8524 Part 2. UK test houses have also rejected EN 16034 for fire curtains, which is why you cannot carry out testing for CE marking for a fire curtain with a UK approved body. ASFP have written comprehensively about this topic in the Technical Guidance Document number 21. So why the confusion now? Resellers of European products are trying to generate sales for their CE marked products by casting uncertainty on BS 8524. By selecting a product which is only CE marked and not certified to BS 8524, you are selecting a product that is not recommended by the ASFP and which ignores the original concerns raised by the UK industry professionals for fire curtains more than 10 years ago. So in conclusion, fire curtains have different physical characteristics and usage, and therefore need to be subject to a more specific and robust testing regime, which is why BS 8524 was introduced in 2013. In addition, UK test houses rejected EN 16034 for fire curtains, which means testing with a UK approved body for CE marking for fire curtains cannot be carried out. Finally, even the UK foreword for EN 1634 points towards the shortcomings of the standard when applied to fire curtains and refers to BS 8524 instead. Today, UK authorised bodies are currently working on their own BS 8524 schemes, which are in the final process for approval from UKAS, so watch this space. For more information or to contact us directly, please visit our website www.a1sgroup.com. Thank you for watching.